Hey guys, this morning we're going to talk about writing the equation of a line given the graph, and we're going to kind of combine the things that we've been learning over the past few days with some things that we just learned yesterday. Now, I hope you're having a great morning, and let's go ahead and get started on our notes. You'll notice at the top it says Algebra 1B Notes. Again, just like yesterday, our notes are going to look very close to the assignment, so make sure you pay attention that it does say Algebra 1B Notes. So taking a look at number 1, in order to write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, I need to know what the slope is and what the y-intercept is. Remember, the slope is the rise over the run, and you're going to pick 2 points that are on the line itself. And so what I'm going to do is pick this point right here and this point here. Now, it doesn't matter which 2 points that you want. But remember, just like I talked about just a couple days ago, how you can't go through the buildings. If this was a car, you got to go up the street and then make that 90-degree turn. So in this case, our slope, we had to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going up 4, and we're going over to the right 1. Over to the right 1. So my slope, remember, is rise over run, and rise goes up and down, run goes left and right. This is a positive slope because it is going uphill, and here's my little car to show you that we are going uphill. So my slope is going to be 4 over 1. That does reduce to the whole number of 4. 4 divided by 1 is 4. Now, when we're trying to find the y-intercept, what you're going to do is look at where it actually crosses the y-axis. This one right here is the y-axis. It crosses right here on this number, and that number is 4. Now, ironically, both of these are 4. This is not going to happen in every situation. So when we write the equation of the line, I know and understand that on your paper you do not have this line. Please draw it in now. We're going to write y equals the m. In our case, the m was 4. So it's 4 times x. That x will always be there. Plus our b. Our b in this case, again, was 4. This is an equation of the line that's graphed in slope-intercept form. Number 2. Number 2, I can't help but to notice real quick my y-intercept, which is my b. Where does this line cross the y-axis? It crosses at the origin, which is at 0, 0. And it crosses the y part at the 0. Then I can find out what the slope is. My slope, looking from left to right, looks like it's going downhill. So I know my slope, here's my little car, or my roller coaster car. My slope is going to be going downhill, so that's a negative slope. So let's figure out what that is. You can pick any 2 points that you want, and this time I'm just going to pick this point and this point. It's my rise over my run, so I've got to go up and down first and then left and right. And in this case, the way I just did it, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, down 4. And I'm going to go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, when you're going down, it's going to be negative. So it's going to be a negative 4, which I put my negative sign out in the very front, over 5. You can go ahead and type that in your calculator to see if it reduces, but I'm just letting you know it does not. So the m is the number that sits next to the x when you're trying to write the equation of the line. I have y equals, my m is negative 4/5 x, and then I have a plus 0. Now you don't have to write that plus 0 if you don't want to. You could leave it, I'm sorry, you can't see that. You could leave it as y equals, I'm going to say or, y equals negative 4/5 x. Either way is completely accurate. It's just totally up to you as to what you want. This is the more simplified version. Let's go ahead and take a look at number 3. Going off of what you just saw in number 2, I bet you can already identify what your y-intercept is. Remember, y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. So my y-intercept is going to be right here on point 0. When I write the equation of the line y equals mx plus b, my b will be plus 0 at that point. Now I need to find out what my m is. Remember, m is the slope and it's the rise over the run. Now you can pick any 2 points you want. This time, just to prove to you I can pick any 2 points I want, I'm going to pick these 2 this time. And I'm going to do my rise part first, which means I have to fall 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go down 3. When I go down, it's got to be a negative. And I'm going to go over 2 points to the right. That makes it positive. Looking overall at my line, it looks like it's going downhill, and that falls right into hand with what I think my slope is a negative 3 over 2. This does not reduce, so I'm ready to move on to my equation of my line. So I have down here y equals mx plus b, that's slope-intercept form. So I'm going to say y equals my m, which is negative 3 over 2x plus 0, or I can write that as, I'm going to write it real small down here, y equals negative 3 over 2x. Again, either way is completely fine with me, whichever way you want to do it. Now, number 4 looks a little crazy. Sorry, I just dropped everything. Number 4 looks a little crazy because my line is just a tad bit off. I apologize. But it's actually trying to go through this point down here on the y-axis. This point down here, which is at 1, negative 6. And this point up here, which is at negative 1, 4. Please make sure you fill in your notes to make it look like mine. Now, where does it cross the y-axis? Remember, the y-axis is right here, and it's crossing, my line is crossing the y-axis at point negative 1, so my b is negative 1. I'm going to go ahead and figure out what my slope is. Remember, the slope is rise over run, and so I've got to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going down 5, and when I go down, remember that's negative. I'm just going to go to the right 1. So my slope is rise over run, negative 5 over 1. You have to reduce this if it's possible. Negative 5 divided by 1 equals negative 5. Now you have to write the equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. My y and my x and my equal sign all stays the same. So y equals my m that I just calculated on the graph was negative 5. So I have a negative 5x. My b this time is a negative 1. So instead of writing plus negative 1, I'm just going to write minus 1. And when you're talking about a term, that is negative 1. So it's still equivalent to what we found. We just write it a little bit of a different way. These are problems numbers 1 through 4. I'm going to make another quick little video of the rest of them, but I think this is a pretty good stopping point. If you have any questions, please ask Miss Hall, or you could ask me tomorrow when I come back.